Welcome back to another episode of The Fool's Journey by the Third Eye of Providence. This is episode 17, and we are on card number 16, which is the Tower. If this is the first time you're checking out this content, this is one episode of a series that we started on January 1st that walks us each day of January through a new card in the tarot, starting with the Fool. So, like I said, we're on the Tower card, and if you have not gone back and check out that content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way, you can get a notification every day when I post a new video, or you can hit the save button to this playlist, and that will go into your library so you can follow along whenever you're ready. Again, this is the Robert Hansen's Tarot, and I'm using this as the main study because it does get read in reversal. And we're on the Tower. I'm comparing the imagery in this card with the Twin Tarot because it shows the positive light aspect and the negative shadow polarity. Now we're going to get into the Complete Book of Tarot, a comprehensive guide by Anthony Lewis. And I'll show you another reference of the Tower card according to this guide so you can get an idea of the traditional imagery of the Tower. Dun, 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 dun. So the Tower card, it talks about sudden enlightenment. The astrology associated with the Tower is Mars energy. This is the god of war, bloodshed, and destruction. Big surprise, right? Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, so the element connected with this card would be fire. Now, myths and archetypes connected to the Tower, of course, are the Tower of Babel and Buddha under the Bodhi tree. There's also the archetype of the Tower that represents Hades abducting Persephone. And you, of course, will see this connected to Zeus, the thunderbolt, and also in the Norse, Thor, the god of lightning. Now, throughout many traditions of the tarot, including the Mather's deck, which goes back to 1888, when this card appears in a reading, it is representative of loss, disruption, ruin, and overthrow, bankruptcy as well. In the reverse, it's the same energies, but less severe. So only a partial or, not quite a full loss. In the Rider-Waite, whenever you see the Tower card, this is going to represent adversity, calamity, disgrace, ruin, and just unforeseen catastrophe, right? So in the reverse in the Rider-Waite, it would be the same energy, but to less of a degree. So maybe not quite catastrophe, but an unforeseen accident, an incident, some kind of, embarrassment, things like that. In the Order of the Golden Dawn, when you see the Tower appear in a reading, it's going to represent fighting, war, ambition, and courage. All the attributes of the planet Mars, basically. But when there are stressor cards associated in the reading, it's going to represent destruction, ruin, defeat, and danger. Okay, so upright in a reading when the Tower appears. It suggests that you need to critically evaluate the structures that are confining you or limiting your life. If you don't do so voluntarily, the universe will find a way to force change upon you. Long-standing routines that may have been hindering your progress need to be abandoned. Unanticipated changes may at first appear traumatic, but in the long run can open the door to renewal. There's an old adage that says every crisis presents an opportunity, so unexpected and sometimes drastic alterations in one's life's course are often accompanied by sudden and profound insights into the nature of one's reality and belief system. Such events might include a separation, a divorce, a job loss, a financial setback, school failure, or an upsetting medical diagnosis, and so on. When the Tower appears reversed in a reading, it's going to imply that you're avoiding necessary changes or you're failing to learn from a traumatic situation. We cannot avoid the fact that bad things do happen to good people, but we can take advantage of the opportunity to grow in wisdom from whatever we experience in our lives. Consider the parable of the house built on sand. It's from Matthew. A foolish man which built his house upon the sand, and the rain descends, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell, and it was the fall of it. So, in what ways have you built your house on sand? Okay, again, in the negative shadow aspect, it's going to be sudden upsets, breakdowns, catastrophes, disturbing news, destruction, elimination, trauma, distressing changes, and defeat. And in the light aspect, or the positive polarity of the Tower, it's a sudden revelation, an abrupt change, a disruption, upheaval and forced change, a call to action, right? Unanticipated events, sudden enlightenment, and liberation from limiting structures, an opportunity for growth, a purification, and the need to act before it's too late. Awesome. So, again, Mars energy, it's Scorpio, it's Aries. Aries is all about initiation and action and a bolt, like starting off, right? Scorpio energy is all about transformation and going into the dark and showing light into it, right? And that is the lightning bolt energy. Typically you'll see lightning when it is happening during a storm, so it's very dark, and there's like it's nighttime, and then there's this flash, right? So this is kind of like what we're trying to show as a revelation. Do you see how there's a crown here exploding with the thunderbolt off of the top of the tower? So this is to represent expansion of the crown chakra. You'll see too that the moon is out. This is nighttime, so this is could also represent spiritual downloads at night when somebody's sleeping, like this kind of a transformation that happens to them. And you have dreams, and you wake up with these weird dreams, and they start to tell you a lot about your psyche. One thing I really want to point out, so important about the Tower card with this limiting belief structure thing, is that there is no door on the Tower. Right? So this is a confinement. There was no way out of this situation other than to either fall to your peril, to your doom, or presumably you can take a leap of faith, right? You have to, there's no staying in this situation. You have to move on. And the only way out is literally by jumping out the window. One thing I want to point out too, what's so important about this journey, the Fool's Journey, is that the Tower card comes after the Devil. The Devil card talked about entrapment and codependency and addictions, and something that happens, you'll see with the progression of those cards, was that it was the Temperance. The Temperance was about moderation. Now, if you fail to use the Temperance energy and you fail with moderation, you're entrapped with the Devil card, right? But you cannot stay in the Devil energy. It's a path of self-destruction. So sometimes the divine will have to intervene and force you to take a look at these things about yourself and to release you from this confinement, whether you're ready or not. Now, one thing I do love about traditional versions of the Tarot that you kind of don't see here is that on many versions of the Tower card, one side is going to be light and one side is going to be dark. And this is to represent that the choice is yours. When you have to jump out of this tower one way or another, but you get to decide if this is going to be for your benefit or for your destruction. You get to decide if this energy is going to grow you. And that's really important to pay attention to when it comes to the Tower energy, because in the reverse, there really is no in the shadow aspect, I mean, there really is it's not a good situation at all. These people are definitely falling to their doom. The tower is destroyed. There's a storm brewing down here. There's no cushioning of the fall like that is kind of possible in this one. But it is still sudden revelation, it's enlightenment, it's divine intervention, and this tower card, it needs to appear. When it's in a reverse, again, it's sort of just like not as bad of a situation. But when I see the tower in reverse, I always think about resisting change. It's definitely talks about somebody who wants to stay in the stagnation energy of the devil, is how I look at it. And you know, that is when we start to see the energies of illness and stagnation and sickness and you know bad life choices in general. So basically the tower card is a necessary evil, a welcomed energy that is if you are the kind of person that looks at these things as for your best and above, like these things, if you're the creator of your universe and everything is working out to serve your highest and best good, you have to have faith that you take this leap, because this is something that needs to be removed from your life. You need to expand beyond, you need to let go. Hopefully you can relate and understand the symbolism of the tower card. If there's something I missed, please feel free to leave a comment below. It's so helpful and it definitely is appreciated. Everybody here gets to expand and learn together. And like I said, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you can definitely do that to get a notification every day when I post a new video in January. Or you can hit the save button and just take a look at these videos when you get a chance to. Either way, I appreciate your guys' support and checking out this content, and I hope to see you on the next one.